with the exception of those. And then I just want to also say that we did add to the school committee member authority policy, we did add, per Gus's request, that we add the school attorney to the policy. So that change was made. So I'm looking for a motion to approve the policy packet with the exception of the sections I highlighted. Ms. Gallivan is going to make copies for all of us for discussion, for review, and then discussion at the next meeting.
You can make that motion.
I will make that motion to approve the policy.
Motion made by Ms. Berry, second by Mr. Martucci. Any discussion?
Could I just add one thing?
Yeah.
Just for the records, there are actually 4 policies that we want to discuss at the next meeting. They are policy BA, school committee operational goals, policy BAE, school committee annual goals, policy BAA, evaluation of school committee, and then policy BEDH, public comment at school committee meetings. So I just wanted that to be read into the record.
Thanks, Suzanne.
Any discussion on the motion?
Give me a second.
Hearing none, can I have a roll call on that one, please?
Yes, Ms. Leonard?
Yes.
Mr. Lettieri?
Yes.
Mr. Martucci?
Yes.
Ms. Petrie?
Yes.
Mr. Purinton?
Abstain.
Ms. Barry?
Yes.
Ms. Powell?
Yes. Superintendent's report.
Yes. We don't have a student representative this week due to the change in the date of the meeting and former commitments of our student rep, so we will bring that back to the next meeting. I feel like it's very valuable, not only for us, but for the students to be able to stand up before the school committee and practice some of those skills of addressing a crowd of people. It's not easy for our students to do that. However, I feel they were eloquent in their first presentation and actually enjoyed it in my further conversation with our students. So she will be back next week. I attended the swearing-in ceremony last night at the for the town council meeting, in which we have brought some new faces into our community. And for us, Mr. Zachary Puritan was elected to the school committee and sworn in last night. Lane Petrie was re-sworn in for another stint with us, as well as Gus Martucci. So, and it was nice to see Suzanne sworn into the town council, and Jim Lettieri joins us again as the repeating town council president and member of the school committee. So it was well-attended, I believe, from the folks that were there. Jim's acceptance speech of being the town council president resonated well with me. It was very well done, and I think the community will appreciate his words when they either see it on TV. They were heartfelt, and your dedication to the community as well as the school committee is much appreciated. Just a quick update on enrollment for our students across the district. We currently have 1,982 students enrolled in the Winthrop Public Schools, which is a number that is higher than it's been in the past, which is exciting to see that we have more students. I think it's important to understand that we continue to work on residency, and we continue to work on enrollment and tracking our students who have enrolled and those students who have withdrawn, and where have they gone since they have withdrawn. So since September 5th, we have had 87 students enroll. 40 of the 87 students were original to this country. So that's super important information to know. It varies across the grade levels. In terms of enrollment, the highest amount of students enrolled since September was 9th grade. We had 10 students enroll in the 9th grade. The other grade levels, pre-K and K, had 9, and then the next highest was the 11th grade, 10th and 11th grade, which had 7 students enroll. So obviously there are smaller numbers in the other grades. And then we've had 46 students that have withdrawn for various reasons, whether they've moved, whether it's been a residency issue, or whether they have moved on to another community. So it's just a good practice to keep this up to date. I track it every month, so I have a spreadsheet that tracks how many kids have come in, at what grade level, and then how many students have withdrawn and for what reason. So that's internal information that I keep, but readily available to the committee And I think it's, every once in a while, every month or two, just to give you an update on that. Budget is hot and heavy right now with the administrative team working, starting in early December. We start looking at the budget for next year, anticipating what our needs are. As you all know, it is a long process, and a lot goes into it from the administrators level to the teachers level. This year, I'd like to get back to the business of speaking with parents, as I did a few years in a row prior to COVID. I'm going to be meeting with PTOs starting this month in January, at the PTO meetings, doing a presentation for the parents on the budget, giving them a brief overview of how the budget is put together and how the budget is made, where does the money come from to support the schools. And I'm also going to be asking them for feedback. And it's sort of a informal meeting, but we're going to encourage parents to attend and continue to do our surveys. But I think this just puts a little bit more face-to-face, and let the parents have some conversations with me about what it is they'd like to see in the budget. So those meetings will be on the 10th. I'll be meeting with the Cummings School PTO. On the 11th, the Gorman-Fort Banks PTO. And on the 22nd with the Winthrop High School PTC. And the Winthrop Middle School has a Zoom meeting tomorrow, so that's a conflict for me in schedule, so I'll be setting up a separate meeting for the parents at the middle school and keeping the PTO involved in that. I'm interested to see how many parents will come, but more importantly, what they have to say. I think in the environment with the PTO, we may have some more relaxed conversation, people more willing to attend and be able to share their opinions with me and their thoughts, and I'll be keeping track of that. And then also, probably in early February, sending out a survey. The survey that I've sent out the past couple of years is sort of boring, so we're working on making a survey that's a little bit more parent-oriented and even student-oriented, so some of our older students can have some feedback as well with their parents on that. So more to come on that. We'll also start scheduling budget subcommittee dates once we put together our new subcommittees for this particular school committee. And I'd like to start those mid-January, so we can start to just get a sense of where we're at and where we need to be. So more to come on those dates once our subcommittees are established. We had a short update on news because we had the holiday week. And it was a well-deserved week, and I think, being in the schools prior, we're doing a lot of school building visits, a lot more than we have done in the past, committing to that, both Laurie and I to being, and the rest of the administration to being present in the buildings and doing walkthroughs, and just having general conversation with people, but also getting into classrooms. And I feel like people were energized to have a break, and then coming back and doing a quick walkthrough in each building, and seeing people just getting right back to business was really nice. So just a couple little updates. I've already told you the next PTO meeting for the GFB is Thursday at 6:30. That's going to be in the CAF. I believe we talked about the winter fair prior at our last school committee meeting, but that's just a re-update. The amount of money that was done during those winter fairs and how that money was utilized to go back to families in need of support during the holiday season and during the break. The winter concerts at the ATC were super, super well done. To put that many kids in a room and have them stand next to each other and not really touch each other too much and be able to sing and present themselves was really fun to watch. So great job by all over at the ATC. Upcoming events, the fourth graders are taking the NEEP test, but that's not until February, so we'll talk more about that. Middle school just wanted me to remind people that not only did they have a winter fair and raise money with the same purpose to give back to families, but in addition, as did the rest of the school, as the rest of the school district does as needed, they collaborated with Mi Amore to make sure that families were able to have the support that they needed, and in many cases that we were able to help additional families, so that was great. High school midterm exams are coming, January 16th to the 19th. So folks need to be reminded of that. And then just a few quick public relations from the superintendent perspective. Just want to congratulate the athletes of the month, Nick Capuccio for football and Izzy Rice for cheering. Our indoor track athletes who completed in the NEC freshman and sophomore meet, Anna Capuccio won the long jump and placed 4th in the 55-meter. Liam Kenny placed 5th in the mile, and Annabelle Giardino placed 6th in the mile. Winthrop High School's Dinner Theater, which is so totally awesome to go to, will perform I Get So Emotional at Prince Pizzeria on January 22nd, 23rd, and 24th. The tickets are $20 at the door, but you can also make a reservation by emailing whsdinnertheater@gmail.com, and that's on the Winthrop High School webpage as well. It's really a good take, fun, and obviously the talent that we have here in Winthrop is sort of untouchable, but it's a great night to go out. And then a quick congratulations to the girls' hockey team for being named the Poland Springs Girls Hockey Team of the Week in the state of Massachusetts. I've had the opportunity to attend quite a few additional after-school extracurricular activities. I was at the 21st Century After School program yesterday, kind of checking in on them and seeing a large number of students that have been attending that particular program, and students that are there working, students of ours that we have working in the program. So that kind of relationship building age-wise with some of our younger students and some of our high school students. We have quite a few students who speak multiple languages attending the program, and quite a few support students from the high school and the community working in that program to support and facilitate conversation and languages with some of our newer language learners. So that's exciting. And then just multiple athletic events, being able to attend some of the basketball games. I went to the girls' basketball game yesterday at 4:30. Clearly, I didn't get the
wasn't
memo that it was canceled. But I did have a good time just standing there watching practice and being able to interact with kids and see what they were doing, talking to some of the coaches. So although I didn't get to see a game, I did get to have some conversation. Attended a few hockey games during the break, which is always good for me because the commute's not bad. I literally step out my door, walk 100 yards in my Winthrop Vikings coat, which is very warm, and I'm able to see not just kids on the ice, but then all the younger kids that go down to watch how they behave themselves in the rink, which is pretty good. So I think there's some good protocols. We have a lot of staff that attends those, the rink and the high school meetings, the high school athletic events, just sort of keeping control of the environment and letting people know what the expectations of being in our schools is. And kudos to the custodial staff and the staff at the rink for keeping those facilities clean and keeping the bathrooms supplied with toilet paper, paper towels, soap, and then going in and cleaning those so we're ready for the next day of school. So it was, although there wasn't a lot going on, in the schools during the week, aside from the custodial work and upgrading things and cleaning classrooms and fixing things that we can fix when kids aren't there, there was enough to do in the community for us and for me to see, so I was excited for that. Let me see if there's anything else. I believe that is it for me.
Do we have any homeschool applications?
You do not.
Appointments, resignations, retirements, postings, or leave of absence?
So no appointments and no resignations, thankfully. Retirements, Lauren Sennett, who is a teacher in the S1 program at Winthrop High School, has submitted her retirement paperwork and is intending on retiring at the end of the school year. We'll talk more about Lauren when we get closer to that. Hopefully I can convince her to change her mind, but I don't think so. And postings, an ESP for a long-term, I believe it's a long-term sub-ESP that we're posting for at the middle school. And we have no leaves of absence.
Any new business
Not tonight.
from the committee? There's no unfinished business. Any other public relations? Hearing none, may I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Lettieri, second by Ms. Berry. All those in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it. Motion, meeting is adjourned.